Rewind selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector.
Welcome to the IPA Champions Cup, live on Sporty Stuff TV.
Well, a very good evening. It's finally arrived. It's grand final night, Sporty Stuff TV Champions Cup. We've gone through 162 matches to get here this evening. We've got another six. Well, we've had one already. We've got another 5 matches, and then we're going to know who's going to be the champion this year. And I've got with me my old pal. He's been here from day one, Mark Pickworth. Good evening, Mark.
Now then, Gary, all right? You look really polished up, a lot better than when I saw you on TV on last week.
Oh, that's nice, Mark. Funny enough, Mark, when did you know what date the final was going to be?
When did we know?
When did you know? When you come
late last year.
And you never told your tailor that this is the final night tonight, then? Can you believe it? Look at him.
Should have just kept quiet, and it had just been so simple, this intro, wouldn't it? It's been so simple.
I'll tell you what, it's the first time it took us 10 weeks and 162 matches. He's speechless. But, wow. Mark, what an evening we've got ahead of us, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. It's going to be a sensational grand final. It really is. A very exciting format that we've had so far, and this final is just going to be really, really exciting. There's going to be plenty of drama. Yeah,
we're only 3 players this evening in the final, but really and truthfully, it can go either way, can't it, Mark?
Yeah, it can. I mean, we've always planned to only have the 3 players because there had to be a winner from each of the 3 events, and that they're all coming up now against each other, and it's going to be a really exciting end to how this is going to be. Who's going to be the 2021 Sporty Stuff TV Champions Cup winner? Who is it going to be? It's going to be it's going to go down to the last match.
Well, if you don't know, no one's going to know, but it's got to be one of these. There's only 3 runners this evening, but Corey Reese. Tell us about Corey.
So Corey Reese, he's going to be the outsider and with the betting partners, but he's one of the most up-and-coming players that the IPA's got, and he's going to be breaking into the top 8 and probably be in the top 5 in these coming years. And then the Godfather, Gareth Ibbott, the reigning Champions Cup winner, and then he's up against Liam Dunster, the world champion, the IPA's #1 player, and he's won this event twice. You got to feel sorry for Corey Reese in the trio of players, but Corey Reese has got nothing to lose, and he'll play really relaxed, and he'll just play his normal game, and he won't even be worried about what Gareth Ibbott and Liam Dunster are doing.
Yeah, well, Corey Reese has already been on. We had a match this evening at 8:45 on YouTube. And we've got the most viewers we've ever had as well, haven't we, on YouTube for that match? So thanks very much if you watched it on YouTube. But tonight now we're live on Sporty Stuff TV. But that first match, can you tell our viewers, anyone missed it? What happened, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, it was probably a fair result in the end. It ended in a 3-3 draw. So that's another draw, 9-4 that was as well. So anybody who backed that'd be really good. I know I had it on Pickers Picks.
Oh, that's nice of you to tell us after the event.
I like a draw, though, don't I? Like you always tell me.
But you know, in our gaming world, we like to know before the event if you can, and not after.
Well, I put it on socials, Gary. If you just wanted to have a read through, I think I've copied you in on it. To be honest, I don't know what
social are, but I will say one thing tonight. Right, I know you're the governor sitting on the fence, right? But tonight I'm going to get a selection out of you before our next match here. Who's actually going to win it?
Chucking me under the bus again, aren't you?
Yeah, and if you do find a fence strong enough for me, don't forget there's never been one yet, so I can sit on it as well. Right, here's our 3 players tonight. Now, don't forget these odds, they were up before the first match. I shouldn't imagine a lot would change if you could still have a bet on it, but I know most of the betting partners closed the book at 8:45. As Mark said early, he thinks the bookie boys have got this right tonight. Liam Dunster favourite, Gareth Ibbott second favourite, Corey Reese the outsider. You've been at the game a long time, Paul, Mark. They've got it bang on, haven't they, mate?
Yeah, you bookie boys, they've definitely got it bang on tonight. They haven't got every night right, but tonight they are spot on the money.
Yeah. Do you remember them 2 outsiders we had in the previous 10 weeks? We had an 8-1 winner one night, didn't we? Yeah. Then we had a 9-1 winner. Do you remember who put that 9-1 winner up? Was it me?
No, it wouldn't be you. You wouldn't dare. You wouldn't dare.
Yeah, no, I do what you said. I wouldn't dare put up a 9. He knows I love a favourite. That's why. But Corey Reese now, he's form up.
Yeah, so he's form there. So he's got 7 wins and 2 draws to get to this grand final. He played in Event 1, and the 2 draws he had were both against Liam Dunster. And both of them outcomes in them group stages, they both needed a sudden death black ball shootout. Do not be surprised if we see another sudden death black ball shootout tonight. It could well happen. It really could.
Really?
Yeah, it could. It really could.
I thought it was like an 100-to-1 chance of Blackpool shootout.
I mean,
but no.
I mean, with the amount of matches we've played, we've only seen 2. We played 162 matches, and there's gonna be like we've had 2 Black Ball Sunday shootouts.
So it's 80-to-1 at the moment, isn't it? So
Exactly.
it could easily happen, couldn't it?
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
So he's number 13 on the rankings. He's definitely going to be breaking into the top 8.
Gypsy, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. I mean, the win-lose record there, 7 wins, 3 losses, 61% in 2021, 70% in his career. It looks like he's a little bit out of form, but he's made an IPA final already. So being in this final is no stranger to it.
He looks confident as
well.
well.
He does, yeah. And he's been here since around sort of 5 p.m. today, and he seems really relaxed around the arena. He's just going about his motions, and he'll just try and control the nerves that are in there, because there's been plenty of nerves for all 3 of these players.
And I should imagine all the pubs in Bridgend and all the houses, all Gypsy's mates, they'll all be cheering him on tonight, won't they?
They certainly will, yeah. And I mean, this is a bit much of a home nations. We've got England, Scotland, and Wales in this, and there's going to be a little bit of rivalry as well. But yeah, Gypsy, Reece, he's really sort of followed, and I'm sure the Welsh boys will be getting behind him.
And how about this man to be followed, the Godfather? Gareth, what can you tell us about him, Mark?
Well, he's the reigning Champions Cup champion at the moment. I mean, that win-lose record there in the event 2. He's already lost one, lost to Ross Fernie. And remember, when he lost that first match in that semi-final stage, all players finished on 3 points, and it was the one frame that divided all 4 players. It was an unbelievable. We only saw it that once, an unbelievable outcome. But after that happened, Gareth Hibbert never looked back and won the final pretty comfortably. Yes, he had a few sort of nervy little shots, etc. But he got through, and as you see, with some of this record here, ranked number 10, the Godfather, is now up to number 6 in the IPA rankings, and then win-lose record there. 8 wins, 2 losses, and that last loss came in the World Championship final against Liam Dunster by 4 sets to 2.
But when Gareth walks around the table, he looks to me as if he's like pure class, isn't he? You know, he goes in his own style. He's class, isn't he, Mark?
Yeah, I say it's like elegant.
Elegant.
Yeah,
that's
he's
the word I was
elegant around the
looking for.
table. It's like he's on ice skates.
He is,
He just
isn't he?
flows around like a butterfly.
Oh, butterfly. Stings like, who's that? Stings like a butterfly,
No, it's one of
floats
the
like
boxers,
a bee.
wasn't it?
Wasn't it a boxing joke now? And here's Liam now, the world number 1, Liam Dunster.
Yeah, the number 1. He's been number 1 now for a couple of years, and he's looking like he's going to continue this number 1 ranking probably for the next season. And that, I mean, he's had to play 2 events. He's had to play event 1, which we see in his record there. That's 1, 7, and then drawn 2, and both the draws came against Corey Reece. But he's played 18 matches to get to this grand final. The most matches out of these 3 players. Yeah. He's won 12, drawn 6, and lost none. An incredible record. And a record it would probably never be matched again.
You know what records are good for? At a party when the DJ's playing them. But he should be favourite, shouldn't he, Mark?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, when we watched him back in January when he first opened up, 4-0, 4-0, 4-0.
Yeah, I remember that. That was my first ever night that night, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you were thinking, oh my God, this boy can play, didn't you? And you followed
easy.
him ever since. And he's been here as many times as what we have, Liam has.
Yeah, but all the Paul, you know, Sam, I don't know if you know, this first time I was invited onto the show by Dave and Sporty Stuff TV, but the friendship in the pool, you know, and they're playing for big money tonight. Tell the viewers how much they're playing for, Mark.
Well, the winner is going to get £10,000, and it's an incredible amount of money. And
but there's still the friendship between them.
Before
we got here early tonight, the 3 boys up there, they're sitting there talking to each other. You know, it's just, the atmosphere's fantastic, isn't it, between them, you know, and there's friendship involved in this pool game, isn't there, Mark?
Yeah, and you've seen probably that between the 48 players that have played in this event.
Yeah,
they all sit around talking, and they just seem friendly. And that's how the pool community is. It's such a friendly place. Anybody thinks it's a hostile crowd and that, they've got it all wrong. This is a really nice sport to play in.
So the IPA pool then is getting, you know, it's getting bigger and bigger, yeah?
Yeah, I think we're growing, and being on TV, playing in these big studio arena events, it's huge to us.
Yeah.
Huge to us, and I think we're taking the game forward. Well, we have been taking the game forward. We've led from the front from day one, and we'll continue to do that.
You've got to do that, Mark. Liam Dunster now. Look at the form here for Liam.
So there's that win-lose record there. So he's got 6 wins, 4 draws, 78% in 2021, 73% in his career. As you see, no losses in his last 10 matches. That just sort of proves what Liam is all about. He hates losing, and he doesn't lose that many. It's hard to go back to when he last lost, it really is.
That's unusual, when you said he hates losing.
He does, yeah.
Well, I know something here. Right, your choice tonight. Mark Pickworth, Pickers Picks. Who's going to win the final tonight?
Well, I've done Pickers Picks already. It's on all the social platforms now. And I've gone for Gareth Hibbett tonight. I'm not sitting on any fence. I've looked at all the stats, and I just feel his style suits this brutal format. Nothing against Liam, nothing against Corey. Liam's a brilliant player, and he's going to take some beating, and that's why the betting partners have got him favourite. And everyone wants to see Corey Rees win it. We've already said he'll be backed heavily back in Wales, etc. and that. But I've gone for Gareth Hibbett. So
that 1 point that Gareth's got in the first match, you're satisfied with that, yeah?
Yeah. It's always nice not to lose. And I mean, remember, he's the only one that's lost in this Champions Cup out of these 3 players. Right. So it's just about he needs to make sure he doesn't lose. So, but he also needs to make sure he wins. So you don't want to change your selection?
No, give that one go? No, you're going to stay
I've already selected it. It's all on the social platform, etc.
Well done. That's what the game's all about, isn't it? So we're going to have a look at our first match here this evening here. Liam Dunster against Corey. It's not our first match, our second one, but the first one on TV, isn't it? On Sporty Stuff TV here. Looking at our prices here, Liam Dunster's 11-10, Corey Rees 15-8, and you can have the draw again at 9-4. So bookies have got it right.
Yeah, they have. I mean, what's the interesting thing about that stat with the previous matches? That Liam hasn't beaten Corey Rees in the last 3 appearances together. So that's going to be very interesting to see how this matchup goes. Because Corey's not scared of anybody, and he won't be scared of Liam because he got the better of him in that event 1 final.
Fantastic, isn't it? Good night of Paul we've got coming ahead, haven't we, Mark?
We certainly have, and it's going to be exciting. There's going to be plenty of drama, plenty of tension. There's going to be a bit of twitching, and it's going to be really friendly as well. But whoever wins... I don't
think it'll be that friendly near the end when you're playing for 10 grand.
Whoever wins this will be a deserving champion. They really will.
Deserving champion, that's what we want to hear, isn't it? We're going to have a look at our betting odds now this evening. I'm going to try to find you a bit of value now. On here, as I said, we've already had the first match there, Corey and Gareth. We've only got 2 now. Bearing in mind, why the betting partners have only got 3 lots of prices up here is because, as you can see, the people are playing each other later, match 4, 5 and 6. But they promised me, the betting partners, there will be odds up online live after the match. So when we have a break, I'll give you 3 minutes to the next match, and in them 3 minutes you can sort out what you want to do. Mark's gone straight to the auditorium, and he's now going to speak to our 3 players live. Over to you, Mark.
Thanks, Gary. And here we are, tableside once again for the grand final. And the grand final, it's took some getting to for you, Liam, hasn't it? You've gone the long way about it. Would you have rather just got through on event 1?
Well, I've won 1,500 more than Corey, so maybe not. But of course you would rather get through, save coming down here all the time, stuff like that. But just happy I've done it the hard way, so be it. But yeah.
And through these 18 matches that you've had 91 frames, and you've won 66 of them. That's a 67% win ratio. That's pretty impressive.
72.5%.
Oh, is it 72.5%? Oh, all right. I like to be corrected, and I love my stats. Obviously, I've got my calculator working properly. But,
happy the way I've been playing throughout this. Yeah, definitely.
And the break, it's really crucial in this pool, on this table, it really is. And we've got a new speed radar gun now, and we've been looking at everybody's break here tonight. And your break is probably measured around 24, 25 kilometres. Now, do you really, because you've got more of a measured break, is it going to be important that you keep it measured, or will you try and step it up at all?
I don't think you can hit the side break much harder than that without the white ball jumping off the table. Obviously, these other guys are smashing them for the front. I don't think you can smash it from the side and hit the second ball and keep the white on the table. So I think that's the reason it's a lot softer than their break, yeah.
And we all know that you really, really wanted to win the World Championship title, which you did back in February. What would it mean to you to win that title for the 3rd time?
Yeah, it'd mean a lot, yeah. There's a missing space in my cabinet, so yeah, I'd like it there.
Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing how you play and how you go on, and good luck for your next match, which is up next against Corey.
Cheers.
Well, there's the duster, the #1 player, the world champion. How many more titles is he going to win? I know one person wants to stop him winning titles. Is you, Gareth. Is it time for some revenge?
Possibly, Mark. Yeah, I'll have to play a little bit better than I did in that first match, but yeah, you never know.
So you weren't really too happy with the way that you played in the first match. I thought you broke pretty well. You had one loose break. Do you think you can step it up, and do you really need to step it up tonight?
Yeah, I think we all do. Yeah, it's one of those. We all know we've got to play near our best to win this, but yeah, just a few sloppy shots and the time caught me out a little bit. It's amazing how you forget how quick it is.
And before we started play today, you was one of the only players that have lost in this Champions Cup. How important is it just not to lose in this format?
I think when you play each other twice, you've got more chance of turning it round if you do lose. But luckily that night when I did lose a game, I sort of got away with it just. But yeah, you prefer not to.
And let's talk away. You just got away with it just because I mentioned it in the betting office to Gary. All players finished on 3 points. It was just that one odd frame that got you through. Did you ever think that was possible? Because you had 1 point after 2 matches.
Yeah. Well, just on the night there was 4 class players there, so we knew everyone could beat each other, and you just had to wait for your chances really. And I just about got away with it by the 1 frame, like you say. It was some night.
And you're one of the best breakers in the game. How crucial is it to have a great break? And we've seen already the speed of your break is measuring just over 34 kilometres per hour. Is it really important that you continue that pace or continue a lot more control with it?
Yeah, I lost the white a couple of times there. I was lucky on the last one, I think, nearly went, and I went straight enough on the first one. So yeah, you just hit them well and try and get a better white in the next few matches. But yeah, if I hit them well, I should hopefully pop most of the time.
And one of your stats in the betting office, which you mentioned, your ranking in this Champions Cup was number 10. You're now up to number 6. Have you got any aspirations to try and get back to that #1 spot? Because you held it for a couple of years.
Yeah, I had it for a while, but yeah, it's tough. These lads are so consistent in the weekend events, so I've just got to pull my socks up in them. I've had a few early losses in some of the tour events, so if I can get over that, yeah, possibly, yeah.
Well, you've had a very steady start in your first match, so I'm looking forward to see the outcome at the end.
Cheers, man.
Well, there you go. The Godfather. Can he retain this title again? At 50 plus years of age. Incredible performer. One player that nearly did beat the Godfather was you, Corey. Do you think you could have possibly won that?
I think it was a fair result in the end, really. I think neither of us played, as Gaz said, neither of us played really great, so I think a draw was a fair result. And
you've got one of the best frame win percentages in this tournament. I know probably Liam will probably correct me on this, but you're up to 73% on the frame win percentage. How important is it to try and keep winning each frame?
Yeah, of course. It's that type of format where every frame counts, as the last match proved, really.
And you are the outsider for this final, which was probably expected, to be honest, to the betting partners. But you was also the outsider in your group stage match when you was playing Clinton Hansen, who is now the IPA's #3 player, who is #5 in this tournament. Are you bothered about being the outsider?
No, couldn't care less, really. Just when you're on the table, it makes no difference who you're playing against. You just got to just do as well as you can, really.
And we said in the betting office that you've already played 2 sudden death black ball shootouts. Have you been practicing? I know you practiced them last time just in case it happened in that Event 1 final, which it did against Liam. Do you think it could happen here tonight? And have you been practicing?
Well, even though it's a long shot, obviously anything can happen. Well, nobody thought it was going to happen, and it happened back-to-back nights, really. So I have been practicing a little bit, not all the time, but obviously trying to keep my eye on it.
Well, it could well happen, couldn't it? It really could. Well, I'm going to let you get ready for your match against Liam, and we'll play it on your first match. Well, there's Gibbsy, Corey Rees. He's up again next. He's going to have a tough game against the #1, Liam Dunster. Well, I've told you everything I can about statistics. The players have told you everything they can about them. It's now down to them. Who is going to be the 2021 Sporty Stuff TV Champions Cup? Join us after the break.
Champions Cup Grand Final Match 2, best of 6 frames. First frame, Liam Dunster at the break. Time running.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome again. We're with Sporty Stuff TV now. It's our second match, but our first on the television, and it is the reigning world champion, Liam Dunster, a man who has started off so strong in the early going of all his event matches, and one can only wonder, is that vein going to continue? And Dan, at least for Corey Rees, he's been able to stay out there following his 3-3 draw with Gareth Hibbett. So maybe a little bit more comfortable than Liam, but boy, Liam, what a handful he is.
Extension, please.
Possibly, Jim. Early signs promising for the Scotsman, though. It's his trademark cut break. He's made a ball, he's got a good split. This is an ideal opportunity for Liam to get off the mark. Corey, as we heard in the interviews, and Gareth as well, both slightly disappointed by their opening match performances. Wasn't their best. And they are going to have to be at their best if one of them's going to stop this man taking that trophy home.
Well, not the best shot that you're going to see from Liam. He's left himself hampered. He's still on a yellow, I believe, to the left center, but he's queuing right over the other yellow.
Yeah, he's not the greatest first shot, and he's in a bit of trouble here straight away. He's not going to be in ideal position just yet. Needs this cue ball to hold up. That's not good. He's right on that yellow.
Touching ball. Time running.
Yes, second time in a row. The IPA #1 is finding himself needing a stepladder out there.
Just a pretty classic, what happens when you get your first shot just wrong and things start to get away from you.
Well, he can cue comfortably at this yellow. It's tricky.
Yeah, he was almost trying to play that off the red, I think. He's caught that much of it. It's not there.
Yeah, shaking the head. That's about as much emotion as you see from Liam Dunster, Dan.
Extension, please.
But this is a chance for Corey.
Yeah, does that red still sneak into the right centre? If not, Liam may have got away with one a bit. He's having a long, hard look at it.
I think he's just building himself up. Looks like it does go, and he wants to take it on, but he's just building himself up. He's letting that shot clock run down, too.
Room for a bus through that gap. What are you worried about, Corey? Great shot.
In prime position now. Try and swipe this opener and put Liam under a bit of pressure. And Corey Reese really has been Liam Dunster's kryptonite in the events we've seen. I mean, it was at Liam's expense that Corey made his way through to this grand final.
Yep, this is their third match. First two both draws. If that's anything to go by, then there's two more draws to come tonight at least, but I can't see that happening again. I think one of these two is going to pull away from the other at some stage. Corey's got the perfect opportunity here.
In the interviews that Mark conducted just prior to this match, they all seemed pretty relaxed. I think they all gave very, very comfortable answers to the questions that Mark put forward. I mean, they all realize, as do all top Q sportsmen, it really is down to them. Yeah, there's always that guy sat opposite. And when it's a player like Dunster who's, carries that intimidation factor, at the end of the day, they all sit in the chair the same way. You've just got to try and plant them there. Just like Corey Reese is going to do here.
Frame.
So the Welsh technician secures the opener. 1-0 over the world champion and two-time holder of this event, Liam Dunster. But a good opening start for Corey, and against Liam's break.
Yeah, great start for the Welshman. You mentioned how comfortable these three players were in their interviews. I think that's because we've got three of probably the top four in the competition, certainly three of the top 5 or 6. You could maybe make an argument for Mark Farnsworth. It's the obvious standout who didn't make the final. After that, actually, these three are probably the best and the hottest in the IPA right now.
Frame 2.
So that's why they're comfortable in the limelight.
Leading 1 frame to 0. Time running.
Big break here from Corey Reese will go a long way to cement his position. As noted, all these guys are going to play each other twice. Pretty useful break from Corey, just 33.5 kilometers. Doesn't seem like much, but generating that kind of speed with only about maybe 4 feet between cue ball and object ball speaks volumes.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that speed gun continues to be used in this game and what sort of useful information it tells us. Because it's not necessarily all about the power of the hit in the break.
It's exactly right, Dan.
Yeah, you'll see Liam Dunster make a ball more often than not, but he won't be hitting it that hard. Liam actually did come up with a very good break first off with his cut break, but ran out of position. Corey can hold his nerve here. He could be 2-0 up before Liam sees the table again.
Yeah, and this really is a sprint, this format. First to 4 frames, 6 played. You just can't afford any bad rolls. No, he checked that one. Loaded that cue ball up with left-hand spin to straighten it up. And like he's turning this into a big chance early.
He's just pointed his cue at that red over on the left-hand side there. That is the key ball in this clearance. He wants to get nicely on that.
You see his head perfectly still on that too. Just, he's got such good technique.
Now he's got 2 options here, but he's already lining one of them up. So he's going to try and screw back out of this and leave that red in the center of the table to the same pocket. Doesn't want to be too straight. That looks about perfect. I think he can just punch this in and just about let the cue ball avoid the black and run down for that last red.
Great start for Corey. The outsider of these 3, if you liked his odds, 5-2 to be the man holding the trophy when the smoke clears. And Liam Dunster, he was the favorite, 11-10, but he's the man watching right now. And he's the man who's going to be trailing 2-0. Dead center. Corey Reese, 2-0 in front. And he'll sit back down now. And it'll be the Duster to break in frame number 3.
This will be the first time tonight we see Liam under any sort of pressure from this break. He's got so much self-belief, Liam Dunster. He never knows when he's beaten. He approaches every single frame the same way. That's his style. He's very methodical. Just remains to be seen whether he gets affected by that 2-0 lead from Corey. Seems unlikely, but in a race to 4, you just never know.
Well, his break has been very inconsistent, to say the very least.
Liam Dunn set the break.
So right
2
now,
frames to 0.
he needs to turn it into a weapon. Meticulously places it. Well, this looks a good break. Kept the cue ball near the center. Got a good displacement of the balls. And Liam will weigh up the options here. He'll take a lot of time. And it wouldn't surprise me if he takes his extra time.
He's going after the difficult ball early. Once this red goes in, you feel like red should all be sat there for him.
Yeah, he shot that with a second to go, Dan.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He'll never time foul. But he doesn't care how much time is left on the clock. He is not a player who's going to get caught out by the shot clock, that's for sure. He almost uses it in his routine.
Nice angle on this red, too, to take the cue ball up table and attack his choice of red. He does tend to produce the goods when he needs the most. And losing the first 2 frames, he knew he needed a good break.
Yeah, he tends to produce the goods all the time, to be honest, as Liam. He's just so good. If you are watching this and you want to learn and you want to get into playing pool, Liam Dunster is the player to watch. You might not have the flair of a Corey Rees or a Ben Davis, and he might not have the speed of a Tom Barley or a Craig Marsh. But what he does have is ice running through his veins and a meticulous nature. Every shot is treated as difficult. Every shot is treated the same.
And this, a clinical clearance from Liam. Never looked in trouble, not from the break. And the world champion just gave us a little example of what he's capable of. Pulls one back, he'll sit down now, and it'll be Corey Rees coming out of his chair to break in frame number 4. But Liam's done everything he can.
Corey wouldn't give for a good break here. He'd love to have Liam sat in his chair, knowing that he can't win the match from his next break. He'd love to break this year. As we've mentioned, these two have shared 2 draws so far in this tournament. Hard pressed to back against it again now. But Corey certainly won't want it. He's in the box seat.
Frame 4. Corey Rees to break. Leading 2 frames to 1. Time running.
A lot of power.
That's a dream. That is an
Yeah, if you're
absolute
looking to
dream.
Dad, if you're looking to secure that third frame quickly and you wanted to toss the balls out on the table for practice, you might not toss them a lot different than this. The Reds
Just
are
that one
so
red.
inviting.
Just that one up in balk that he's looking at now. He's got a fairly big margin of error to land on that, but it's not enormous. The fact that he's looking at it into the top left suggests to me that he's trying to go down there off the first shot. But that does narrow the window of opportunity to get on it. I decided against. But he really does need to get down there quite quickly. He doesn't want to leave that till last. The way this is going, though, he may well be forced to.
Well, if he does elect to leave it to last, it's imperative that he leaves the angle on that red to the side pocket that he's looking at now. He's got to stay below it to allow that cue ball up towards that last red.
Yeah, he can afford to underhit this a bit, because if he really just dropped this in, he could take that red in the center of the table up to the top right, if not. But that's pretty good. He'll probably screw into this, widen the angle, maybe try and play it off the side cushion.
Beautifully played, and an ideal angle to bring the cue ball down towards the black. Just have to avoid that one yellow that's in his line.
Yeah, I think he'd probably like to be a half an inch lower, because that yellow does look quite big.
Steady nerve required still on this. All laid down by a terrific break. And Corey Reese, 3-1 ahead of Liam Dunster, and he's guaranteed that he's not going to lose this match too. So the Welsh cue artist off to a flyer in the early going here in the grand final. And just avoiding that yellow, that was the key. And trying to stay on that line for the black.
Yeah, he is the outsider. I'm reading that right, because he's certainly not playing like it. Corey Reese in sparkling form in this match. After a slightly tricky start against Gareth Hibbert. Talking of Gareth Hibbert, there he is on the left of your screen. He is up next against Liam Dunster. That will be the end of the first round of matches, if you like. And then they will all play again. At the end of the night, we will see the league table, and that will determine who takes home that glass trophy. Just behind Liam Dunster.
Drilling 3 frames to 1. Time running.
Well, we'll see if Liam has found the golden spot tonight with his break. He's going to need a good break to try and force a 6th frame in this match. 3-1 he trails. Yeah, I think he's got the measure of the break now. He's got the speed.
Yes, I'd love to know how he measures that spot, Jim. That he takes the cue ball from the same spot every time. I don't know. Maybe there's a mark on his cue or something, because he's clearly using the cue to line it up.
Watching them practice, because they were all just knocking balls in, just getting a chance to loosen up their arms before the matches started. I never saw any of them practicing the break.
I have my suspicions that that's down to the time constraints. I don't think they have a huge amount of time to knock balls around on this table beforehand. And I suppose if you're racking them up, you're sort of wasting precious seconds in getting your arm going.
Yeah, that makes sense, Dan. We were told they had 50 minutes to practice tonight. And for me, that would have allowed a lot of time to try and figure out the break. Because the break is, well, it can be a massive advantage if it's working. If it's not, you turn it right over to your opponent. And it's certainly worth putting some time in.
Tough shot coming up here for Liam. I think he's got to develop that yellow in the centre of the table. He's got the angle to do so now. Oh no, perhaps not. Must go into the opposite centre. Looks very tight from the overhead, that. Not a perfect angle, this either, because he's got to finish on that yellow over the corner. Next up. If he's topping this through, that cue ball's going close to that red.
Well, I was like you, I was looking at that overhead camera, and so deceiving. It did not look like that ball passed.
No. But Liam would have had a look at that earlier on in the frame. He'll have known, even if we didn't. Just that one fault so far in this match from Liam Dunster in the very first frame, Jim. Is that going to be the decider? If Corey Reese's break continues the same way, I can't really see any other result.
Well, he must have had an anxious moment watching that yellow go down, because that struck both jaws before it fell, and just settling himself now into this black. All important. These are the type of shots he was practicing. Dead center. Dead center of the pocket into the throat. And Liam Dunster, well, now he's got to sit down. He's 3-2 behind. And it all weighs up to how Corey Reese breaks in the sixth frame. But this yellow from the overhead camera looked like it defied the laws of physics.
Yeah, the fact that they all play each other twice means that this final it's a different format to everything else we've seen so far. It's a slightly slower burn in terms of working out the permutations and working out who can win. And if these two first matches end as a draw, then it puts so much more on the Gareth Hibbert-Liam Dunster match coming up, because whoever wins that goes into the box seat going into the second half of the final.
Yeah, it also makes the second round of matches that much more significant, Dan? It, like all these draws, they leave the chance, the outside chance
Final frame.
of a sudden death shootout
Break.
alive and well.
3 frames to 2. Time running.
And would you believe going to a sudden death shootout for the grand final? No one would have fingernails left. Well, a good break from Corey. Well, let's see how he sees it.
Extension, please.
Always the last ball rolling. Always is. That yellow that's just got in the way of that red to the bottom right. Were it not for that, Corey would have already started this visit. He'd been going after the reds.
Time running.
As it is, he's having a good look at the yellows thanks to that one. Tricky opener though. He's only got the one to the left of the cue ball. He's got to play this with a bit of pace to get that cue ball on and off the cushion. These are not easy shots.
I don't think he got the cue ball to where he wanted it. He'd like to have played this yellow to the same pocket.
He would. That yellow I spoke about after the break, if he's nicely on that now, I think he's got to take it. I think this is a good opportunity to get that out of the way, and he should move this red out of the way as well.
Yeah, I think he had to replan the path to take these balls out, but he's got a nice angle on this yellow to the left center to try and drop onto that one top of the table.
Just about speed. Probably screw this into the cushion so that he doesn't end up behind those reds. It's not getting any easier, but actually it's not getting too much harder either. That has definitely overrun. And he's queuing over this red, which makes it awkward. But this is a nice angle. It looks to me that he can drop this yellow in the left centre and actually run into that yellow on the rail. Oh, it went long. Shot.
Big shot here. He's got to try and kill the cue ball off that right cushion and hold for the yellow to the bottom left. But he's got to get this one first. And his heart must be pounding.
Wow. It's not there.
Yeah, trying to kill the cue ball, Dan, with a slow drag shot to hold for position. Just increase the degree of difficulty for that shot marginally.
You can see from that replay how close that was. It's probably a millimetre from dropping in. We've seen these pockets play reasonably generously, it has to be said, in this tournament. But that wasn't particularly generous.
And something that you mentioned at halfway through this match, the only real mistake from Liam came in the opener. Well, the only real mistake from Corey has just come here. And I wonder if that one mistake from each of them is going to take us to another 3-3 match.
Well, you would have to argue it's a fair result if it does. Liam's taking a good hard look at that red on the left-hand side. Almost identically positioned in mirror-like fashion to where Corey's was. But Liam doesn't have to do anything with the cue ball, unlike Corey. So it does make this an easier pot. That is unbelievable.
And it should cost him the match. Corey still has to come with a good positional shot. Never easy when the ball is so deep in the jaws of a pocket, but what a mistake from the world champion there.
Yeah, Liam looks shell-shocked. Oh, Corey, you've underdone this. Oh, this is horrible. That is screaming in off, and he can't do anything with the cue ball. Can he keep the cue ball out of the centre pocket?
No, he's got to jack up the cue.
Oh, he had to go for a double. Oh, it's been perfect pull all the way through, but then these two have both thrown it away in this last frame.
Well, it was never easy, as I said. When a ball is so deep in the jaws of a pocket, it's just tough to judge the speed and how the cue ball is going to come out. And that caught up Corey, and he's suffering now. But what a massive let-off for Liam Dunster.
Yeah, I thought Corey may have had the angle to play it as a plant. I think he could have seen enough of that yellow next to the black. I'm stunned at how badly he played that, to be honest. It's pretty typical, though. I watched Liam Dunster's semi-final. I wasn't in the commentary box with Jim, but I watched a fair chunk of it. And I don't know whether he himself has a fear factor, but plenty of players had good chances to beat him, and they all missed them. Corey's just done exactly the same thing.
Well, you're exactly right, Dan. And again, a massive let-off from Corey Reese. Well, we've got 2 matches in the books, and we've got 2 draws. So if you thought this was going to be close, yeah, living up to advanced billing. Guys, a very, very difficult one to call.
Yeah, I don't think it's getting any easier, is it, Jim? But Liam Dunster there, I think he'd come off that table there with 1 point, and really and truthfully, Mark, he never deserved that, did he?
No, he didn't. He keeps dodging bullets. How much longer can he go on dodging bullets? A 3-3 draw, but Liam does what Liam does. As soon as he misses, he punishes him. He really does. And you could tell Liam was under a bit of pressure there in that first match. But it is his first match. Let's not be too hard on him, too critical about Liam. That's now he's settled. Can he now go on and just win his remaining matches?
It's the first time Liam's face in 10 weeks what we've been here. You could see it there, couldn't you? When he missed that ball in, me thought, I'm in trouble there.
Yeah.
Looked like surely going to be 4-2, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, it should have been. And Corey, how is he going to recover from that now? It's going to be interesting to see what he's going to have to do now. I mean, he's only got 2 points out of 2 matches. It's not a horrific result, but it's one he should have been at least on 3 points.
I think the new favourite now. I think Gareth could be favourite now.
Well, this next match-up, Liam Dunster against Gareth Hibbert, the repeat of the World Championship final this year. I mean, it's going to be a very interesting match, this. And Gareth was just in the corridor overlooking and just thinking, oh, Corey, what have you done? What have you done? And but Liam, he's still in it. We've had 2 draws.
How long have we got, Mark, for the third match?
There's about 3 minutes to you.
3 minutes, yeah. So if you want to come back in 3 minutes' time on Sporty Stuff TV, this could be the match of the night. Don't forget, go on these betting partners. There's plenty of value. I'm looking down here now. Liam Dunster 5-4, Craig Hibbert 8-5, 7-4. There's nothing in it like Mark's wallet. See you in 3 minutes.
Champions Cup Grand Final, Match 3. Best of 6 frames. First frame, Liam Dunster to break. Time running.
It's our third match. Both players come into this on 1 point. So this one takes on considerably more significance. A win here would definitely put that player into the favorites role. And a dry break. First one we've seen from Liam.
Yeah, Liam Dunster looked like he found the magic formula for the break in that match against Corey Reese.
Extension call.
But it's fallen away from him straight away against Gareth Hibbert.
As Mark Pickworth in the studio said, this is a replay of the World Championship final. A final that Liam won 4-2 over Gareth. You just know that Gareth would like to extract a little revenge. And why not do it with everybody watching on television?
Yeah, he's not a vengeful person under normal circumstances, Gareth, but it will have been a sickener, that world final. It was an unbelievable standard between those two. They were just throwing dish after dish after dish at each other. The biggest and probably best game I've had the pleasure of commentating on.
Already weighed up in his mind how he wants to take these Reds out.
Yeah, he's got a nice little window through all those yellows for the black. Actually goes quite comfortably in the bottom right corner. And although this table looks quite messy and quite untidy, it's just a case of picking them off, really. That red over the top right corner, that's quite a nice last ball. Because as long as he just leaves the cue ball somewhere over on the right-hand side, you can spin it round off that red, off two cushions. And should be able to find a nice line for the black.
Chance to win the first one against Liam's break. Secures it, and the Godfather is off the mark here early. And he will break in frame number 2. But a good start from Gareth. Eerily similar to what Corey Reese did to Liam Dunster. He led 2-0 and 3-1 at one stage. Only to let it slip away. Now you wonder if Gareth will have seen that. Will he guard against any type of complacency? Because you just can't afford any mistakes. When you get a chance to put the world champion out of his misery, you've got to take it.
Gareth Hibbert is still the only player in this final not to have lost a match yet. Only player to have lost a match in the tournament so far of the finalists.
Time running.
Oh, how he'd love not to be the only one after this match.
Foul.
Yeah, he goes back to his chair. That is just bad luck.
One free
That's
shot.
sick.
One visit. Time running.
That is one of the most horrible in-offs I think I've ever seen. Oh, Gareth Hibbert. And look at the lay of the table. It's just sat there for Liam.
Extension call.
Yeah, it was almost hard to even watch that for a second time. That was just bad luck, Gareth. You've got to put that one out of your mind.
Ignore that.
And a chance to recover from the last.
It's an intriguing first shot from Liam. Still in good shape here, but he has made that bottom of those two reds slightly trickier. If he's on it now, then I can eat my words.
You can bring the cue ball if he straightens the angle off the red near the bottom left corner. Oh, that one never threatened the pocket. And I wonder whether or not he got a bad contact. A little surprised that he took it as early as he did. But, I mean, that one never even hit the jaws, Dan. And then that's shocking.
I've seen it all now. I can only assume it was a bad contact. But even then, what on earth was Liam doing taking that ball at that point? The way that break split from Gareth, Liam didn't need to even use his first shot to do anything. He'd just get down and pot the reds.
You know, we've definitely seen a little different side to Liam Dunster in this grand final. He's as great a player as he is.
I spoke in the last match, Jim, about there being a fear factor around Liam, about people not necessarily being able to get over the line against him. We saw it a few times in the semi-final. We saw Corey Rees miss a great opportunity against him last up. If there's one player who's going to be able to get over the line against him, it's Gareth Hibbert. He is the in-form man on the IPA at the moment. He won this. He won one of the events in the Isle of Man. He made the World Championship final. Hibbert's not scared of Liam.
Black down, 2-0 Gareth Hibbert. The miss from Liam Dunster, well, could be huge because that was a horrific break. Very bad luck, it's fair to say, from Gareth. And, you know, Liam should have capitalized, but this one again, he got up very quick, and you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. Just a heavy contact. But I certainly didn't think he needed to shoot that red there either, Dan. Could have checked the one over the bottom left, straightened the cue ball back out towards the middle. Easy to say, I guess, from when you're sat and you're not out there.
It is, but it was a bizarre decision in my book.
Liam Dunster to break, trailing 2 frames to 0.
But he is out there in the final, and we can all see the pressure he's under. Can he make a ball off this break?
Quickest way to erase the memories of that bad miss. A break and clearance.
Is that yellow in? It is.
Last ball moving. Saves the bacon for Liam Dunster.
Extension called.
It'll be really interesting to see what he does here, because I think yellows are the colour. I don't think that red below the black spot next to that yellow, I don't think that passes the yellow to the bottom left.
Yeah, he's scratching his head. I'm scratching mine.
Yeah, me too. Don't get it.
Foul.
Oh my word. What is happening to Liam Dunster?
One free shot. One visit. Time running.
Well, looking at him sat in his chair, he almost looks like a deer caught in the headlights right now.
I've never seen him like this, Jim. Not at all. He's the most unflappable guy I've ever seen. But
Extension
right now,
called.
he just looks like a different person. Now, Gareth surely has just got to pop this yellow over the bottom left. Maybe as a plant, maybe not. But once he does that, all these reds are there. If he is playing it as a plant, he's got to get it right. Can't afford to leave that yellow over the pocket.
Well, the Reds all have pockets. It's always about controlling that white.
We heard Gareth in his pre-match interview suggest that in the first match with Corey Reese, he was struggling slightly with the shot clock. And he left that last shot a little late. He's right back on it now, though.
That's giving you an idea of where he wants to get that cue ball.
Yeah, this is nice. He can hold this cue ball. So the red to the right centre, just screw across like that. He may be a fraction low on this. The cue ball's going to be running up table.
Key shot right here.
Yeah, all he's got to do with this is cue it. If he hits this a bit too hard and sort of hits it rather than cueing it, he might end up flicking that yellow. Doesn't want to do that. Oh, he's going to screw off it. Good shot. Very good shot.
Frame.
3-0. Liam Dunster's mistakes are being punished. Gareth Hibbett in complete control, and he won't be tasting defeat in this one. He'll be eyeing up the finish line here very soon.
And it's Gareth to break next, of course, and his first break was quality, just extremely unluckily kicked in off. If he can break like that again, but keep the cue ball on the table, don't expect Liam Dunster to come back.
Next up, well, Gareth, he'll be staying out there, and it'll be a repeat of our opening match that we featured on YouTube to kick things off. He'll be playing Corey Reese, and Corey is watching this. You know he's going to be gearing down for that one.
Gareth Hibbett to break, leading 3-0. Time running.
Well, Gareth has a chance to give Liam Dunster a donut. And I doubt you see that very often.
Oh, it's a beauty. It's a beauty of a break from Gareth Hibbert. Is the Liam Dunster defence finally going to be breached? Is he finally going to lose a game in this format?
Extension called.
Gareth can only go for yellows here, but that's not a problem because they are easily the best colour set. If he could land nicely on that one on the near the left centre pocket and just drop that in after this, just like that, then that's all the hard work over.
The one that you're just talking about now?
Yeah, that one.
Can't get on it better.
No, it's perfect. He's perfect. Just get the pace right. That the laws of physics do the work, and that's the result. In drops the yellow. These are easy.
Just got to wonder what's going through Liam's mind right now.
He's probably quite happy to have a match off next up. He can go away, have a drink, just settle himself down. He can tell himself this is just an anomaly. This is not Liam Dunster. You know, Liam Dunster doesn't lose matches to nil. Little bit lax there from Gareth.
Yeah, he's still got a little work to do here. Much more angle than he would have liked.
I mean, he could play this with lots and lots of right-hand side and check it up. I think it would come back before that red. He's just going to drop it in. Where's the cue ball? Oh, whoa. I think he played for that in the right centre. He's not on it. He might have to come cushion first and try and poss it in there. He's got a decent big pocket with that red there as well. If he catches that half ball, still got a chance.
Is this going to be another massive let-off for Liam, though?
Has he got enough of this?
Is this hard enough to get there? What a shot! What a shot! And what a way to close it out. Gareth Hibbert 4-0 over the world champion Liam Dunster. And does that send shockwaves through the venue? Gentlemen, we're shocked.
You're shocked in Canada, Jim. We're shocked here, and unbelievable.
Well, Gareth's got some revenge there from that World Championship final, and that's really putting him in great stead in trying to retain this title now. And
can you believe what you've just seen there, Mark?
Well, Liam just looks out of sorts. He's missed 2 balls that have not even threatened the pocket, and it's going to take him some coming back from that. And it's going to be really interesting now to see how he builds on that to try and get back into this Champions Cup, because he's not out of it yet. We're only 3 matches in. We've still got 3 more matches, but Gareth's in the driving seat.
But I was just looking at our last match tonight. It's Gareth against Liam again. This could be anything. Could it be all over before the last match, Mark?
Yeah, but there's still a lot of nerves to be played, because everyone's going to know that they're going to be possibility of being that champion, etc. And there's a lot of frames to be played. Yeah, it's going well for Gareth.
Has the Godfather got any nerves, Mark?
He doesn't show it, does he?
Not
he looks
at
really
all.
relaxed in that, but trust me, he will feel it as towards the end of this match comes up.
The old man of the party, look what he's doing to them youngsters tonight, hasn't he?
He certainly is.
Absolutely unbelievable. I don't know if you're enjoying it back home. We're enjoying it here. Don't forget, come back in 3 minutes and look for the betting partners now, Mark. You tell me. We've got some of our betting partners actually betting in running as well, aren't they now?
Yeah, there's definitely a couple out there, what I've seen, and I'm sure there'll be more involved as well.
So don't forget now, all the betting partners, just look, there will be value now. We don't know what the price are, but we will when you come back. But look for the value of our betting partners. See you in 3 minutes.
Champions Cup Grand Final Match 4, best of 6 frames. First frame, Corey Reese to break. Time running.
Well, a lot of us, including myself, still out of breath over what we saw in the last match. Gareth Hibbett's a 4-0 win over Liam Dunster, and Gareth stays out now to oppose Corey Reese again. These two tied in the outset.
Foul.
Well, and a foul to bring Hibbett out of his chair right away in the first frame. You know, Dan, you can only go back and wonder, as we see Corey right now, he's smiling. But I mean, had Corey taken his chance against Liam in the second match, and he really should have won that match, and then the 4-0 lost Liam to Gareth Hibbett, Liam would be done. He'd be done.
Yeah, you may well be right, Jim. It's probably a good thing that he wasn't, because this could be the decider if that were the case. And we'd still have 2 matches left. So from our point of view, probably quite glad that Liam did manage to scrape that point against Corey. But Liam is definitely third favourite the way the table stands at the moment. And Gareth Hibbett can go extremely heavy favourite with a win here. You do just wonder if everything is opening up for the man they call the Godfather right now.
A little short of what would have been ideal position, but still not bad.
Yeah. That yellow next to that red, can he, if he can get behind that, can he see enough of that to pot it into the bottom left?
I think so.
Well, the way he's played that suggests to me that yes. Although, if anything, he's slightly the wrong side of this. Would have liked the cue ball another inch down the table. Oh, beautiful little flick off that red.
Quick look just to make sure the black passes the red to the bottom right corner, and it does.
Yeah, that shot was twofold. He used that red to gain better position, and just that little flick got it out of the way as well. Nothing to do with the cue ball now, just stun this in.
Well, Gareth Hibbett is finding some form at exactly the right time. Secures the opener against Corey Reese's break. 1-0. The Godfather in a commanding position right now. You know, we never really talked enough, Dan, about the shot that Gareth made on the black in the last. What a shot that was. Just made it to the corner pocket. It had to be tough for Liam to watch that, but just a massive shot and an even bigger moment.
It was a genuinely astounding shot. It may be the single best sort of pot I've ever seen. Purely, you know, no doubles, no cannons, no flicks, no tricks involved. It was just a single pot, but it was unbelievable.
Frame 2.
And he's carried that momentum right through to his match here against Corey.
Time running. Void break.
Well, it's a void break, but that cue ball so nearly into the corner pocket.
Well, this is timely because we were just talking about this shot from Gareth Hibbett. I mean,
and how straight did that table run?
How he's potted that from there is beyond me.
And of course, that was the last black that he made against Liam Dunster to close that one out 4-0. We just had to show you that one again.
Watching it. And again. And it is well worth looking at. How has it made it? It doesn't look initially like it's got the pace, but it just keeps going. It shows how quick this table is, and like you said, shows how straight it's playing as well. Astonishing shot. And that's given time for Brian Moss to re-rack the balls.
2. Gareth Hibbert to break again with no penalty. Time running.
He was lucky to keep the cue ball in. Not that it would have mattered with the black flying in afterwards. What can he do this time?
Well, we finally had a 35.7 over 35 miles an hour. That's the hardest break we've seen. And again, in about 4 feet.
Extension, please.
I guarantee you, Usain Bolt doesn't hit that speed within a 4 feet clearance.
Oh, that'd be a great race. Can we organise that? Can we get Usain Bolt versus Gareth Hibbert's break?
You got to lay about 10-1 on the cue ball. No, just short. He's hampered again. He's been cueing over the balls a lot.
Yeah, he's a little bit annoyed at that, and understandably so. But I don't think that's the end of the world. I think he can drop that red in to the top right, and as long as he doesn't underhit it, I think he'll have a decent angle on the next one. Well, he's chosen to take some control, so he obviously felt like he wasn't in a good place. Corey's going to have to find something special here. That yellow on the left-hand side is a huge problem. There's nothing really there to attack that with. He's got 2 options of an opening pot. Neither are nice. He's got a double on the yellow he's closest to. Or the yellow just above the black will go to the bottom left. Gareth doesn't have full control of that top right pocket, but there's nothing Corey can really do about that from here. Oh, well, if he's on this to the middle, then that is one of the best shots you will see all night.
Doesn't have any choice. He's got to try and cut this into the right center. And just like that, a chance.
Oh, needs this to slow down. I think he's okay.
Well, it's close. It's real close. May have to spin the cue ball. Yeah, he's loading it up with left-hand spin. You can see it. Oh, great shot. But again, having to straighten it up, change the angle, and now, where do you come with the next shot, Corey?
Well, he's lining up where the cue ball's going to go because he's got to take this cut on down the rail. But he's going to have to play with the sort of pace where, honestly, he's just trying to flick the cue ball off the red afterwards and come round the side of the black and red just above. Hello, hello. This is a great shot. What a shot that is.
It couldn't have worked out any better, Dan. Black still passes to the bottom right corner, and he can drop on it easily after this yellow.
This is
It couldn't have worked out any better.
Monster finish from Corey Rees.
Made 3 tremendous shots in that clearance. A little bit of good fortune, but who would begrudge him? Brave and talented. What a nice combination. 1-1. Gareth Hibbett and Corey Reese. What a shot.
That shot. It's just brilliant. Here's one for you, Jim. Which shot was better? Gareth's black or that one?
You know what? I'm going to go back to the black if for other reason, because it sealed a 4-0 defeat of the world champion. I mean, that was a great shot from Corey, and he is an exceptional shot maker. He's turning me into a big fan. But it's still, you're still going to have to show me something else if it's going to supersede that black from Hibbett.
Scores are tied 1 frame all.
Well, he won't care about that if he lifts that trophy tonight, but yeah. He needs a result here against Gareth if that's going to happen.
Some tremendous shot making we're being witness to. And in the biggest event of the year. And that is a useful break.
Extension, please.
Yeah, I was just having a look at that top right pocket to see if the yellow furthest in that balk area will pass that red. And it looks like it will. May not have a full pocket, but as long as you get nicely behind it. Saying that, the reds aren't too bad either. If he can drop that one closest to the right centre in first off. Options are plenty here for Corey Reese.
Yeah, when you've got as much ability as Corey and, well, Gareth and Liam, you just can never count any of them out at any time. Only the speed allowing that one to drop.
Certainly close. He looks very, very composed, very in control, Corey Reese. That's neither one or the other. You'll have to really punch this one into the centre pocket now, or take on the thin cut.
Yeah, he just overhit that. It was on the right line. Just slightly overcooked it.
Punching on and off the rail. Risky at this pace in these pockets. And that's why he's left distance. Not masses, but this is a thin snick. You've seen these missed. And he's got to get the cue ball back off that right-hand side cushion for the black.
Supreme shot maker, though. You've got to fancy him to get this. And get it he does. And with it, a 2-1 advantage over Gareth Hibbett. Corey Reese. He's not going to go down, not without a shout. They drew the last time they played. And he's 2-1 in front of Gareth right now. It'll be Gareth to break in frame number 4.
Yeah, Gareth. He'll be disappointed because he hasn't seen the table since he played that attempted safety shot against Corey. And I didn't think Corey was going to finish up from there, sure, but you can't really give him the opportunity to. I think Gareth still had a chance at that finish when he played that safety shot, and since he played it, he's just been sat in his seat. I wonder how much time he will have spent thinking about that particular shot.
Frame 4. Gareth Hibbert to break. Trailing 2 frames to 1. Time running. Foul.
Yeah, Gareth is having a lot of trouble keeping that cue ball on the table.
1 free shot, 1 visit.
Massive amounts of power, but just a runaway white. It's amazing how often it finds gravity.
Extension, please.
Yeah, it's a bit unlucky that he's not gone straight in off. You don't expect the cue ball to be able to find a clear path like that and not hit another ball after the break when you hit the side cushion. But every now and then it catches you by surprise. Wasn't Gareth's best break at all, though. Look at that split. They've all moved over to the right. Tricky table this for Corey, but he does have a free shot to open things up.
I don't know that those developed the way that Corey would have liked. I believe that the reds are still available near the bottom right corner because he was trying to open up the reds. And he's still on one to the center. And I suppose if you're Liam Dunster, sitting back, if he's anywhere near a monitor, he's got to be cheering pretty hard for Corey Reese right now.
Oh, you betcha. Definitely.
That's okay.
Yeah, it is. It's just getting slightly more difficult with every passing shot. And only assume that black will only go into the right centre. If he's going to leave that isolated red at the bottom of the table as his last red, he needs to make sure he leaves a nice angle on that. If he ends up with too much angle on that, he might really struggle to get back.
Yeah, still doesn't look straightforward, though. He's got to move that cue ball around the table.
Yeah, you can see him here. If he can drift the middle of the 3 reds into the bottom right, and just drift it in dead weight, he should have a nice angle on his penultimate red. That's pretty good. Stun this in, find the gap between the furthermost left yellow and the black. Just don't leave too much angle on that last red.
And he should be able to draw this out. Get the cue ball near where it is now to attack that black to the right side. Just a little short. Just short enough, though, to make it tricky, Dan.
Yeah. But, I mean, he's got a shot on it, and he'll be delighted, to be honest. I think this is thin enough that the cue ball's not going anywhere near that top left.
Good shot, Corey Reese. 3-1 in front of Gareth Hibbett. So once again, Jibs out in front, but staying there. That's been the problem for him. He's got to 3 first in his matches, but he's allowed the opponent to come back in every time. He's got to seal the deal right here.
Yeah, big moments for both of these players now. Corey Reese realistically has to win this if he's going to have any chance of taking that trophy home. Gareth Hibbett, a draw would keep him well in control of the final. But it's just, you can hear the door creaking open and you can see a little cherub face of Liam Dunster peeking through. Because he's still in this, thanks to Corey keeping Gareth from the win.
3 frames to 1. Time running.
And a chance now of Corey could put an end to Gareth's run in this match right here. It gets him right back into it. Good solid break. 33.3 kilometers an hour. But it's as much about the control as the power.
Extension, please.
Tricky starter, I think. As long as he can find a good opener here, he'll be happy enough on either colour set. He's only really got the long red, I think. You can see him there lining up the red next to the black into the left centre. So he's going to try and drift this in. Big first shot.
Played that beautifully. This red must go to the left side. And the red nearest the black. And he's dropped perfectly on it. Those long, slow drag shots, he plays as well as anybody.
Yeah, nice angle as well. Just push this cue ball almost around to the black. Oh, it's going to the wire, Jim. Corey's definitely going to go into his second match with Liam with some confidence, though.
Yeah, but the big question mark, standing over Liam Dunster, what sort of confidence is he going to have coming into that one? He's the world champion, and he's the IPA number 1.
Well, one thing this result tells us is that all 3 players are still in with a chance of winning, and it's definitely going to go down to the last match. As long as Corey
And
Reese
why
can
would
hold
we
it
have wanted
together.
it? Why would we have wanted it any different, Dan?
Absolutely, it's perfect. Perfect for us. I'm sure there'll be a few Gareth Hibbett fans watching who might feel differently.
Now, this has been some kind of performance from Corey. He's done nothing wrong in this one at all. And he is slamming the door shut on Gareth.
Gareth may still be thinking about that attempted safety shot against Corey. I know I would be.
Just got to be a little careful here. Wow. Corey Reese, you've just opened it up. And with that black, you have given yourself a massive opportunity, a 4-1 win over Gareth Hibbett. And all of a sudden, everybody's alive and kicking again.
Kicking, Jim, yeah. if you're in Wales now, you're alive and kicking, and you might. If the next match, if Corey wins the next one against Liam, he's won it.
Yeah, he has, and it's been superb stuff. I mean, Dunster, he only can get to 5 points. He's had 1 point. He's still got 2 matches left. But if Dunster wins this next one, he's then going down to the final match to see who's going to be crowned 2022 Champions Cup winner.
So at the moment, then Corey Reese, he's on 4, isn't he? 4 points.
4 points, yeah.
4 points.
Gareth's on 3, and Liam's on 1.
And Liam's on 1. So it's all down to Corey Reese. He was the outsider of the party. Don't forget, with all our betting partners, wasn't he? And he's got a big chance, hasn't he?
Yeah, he certainly has. And the way that he's just played in that last match there, I mean, just look there, look. That's the confirmation there. 4 points for Corey Reese. 3 points for Gareth Hibbett, and 1 point for Liam Dunster. But Liam's still got 2 matches left, so he can take the title as well. It's going to be a very interesting last couple of matches, and wow.
All
Corey
in black
Reese.
and white there, isn't it? We've got up there where how the standings are now, and really and truthfully, how do you reckon Corey's feeling now? Now the pressure's got to it, hasn't it, Mark?
Yeah,
£10,000 if he wins it. What if he wins the next match? He gets 10 grand.
Yeah, simple as that. That's all he's got to do. It sounds simple, doesn't it?
I wish I could play Paul. I know that. Anyway, come back in front. Look for. By the way, our betting partners, and we just had a check, me and Mark. There's quite a few of our betting partners, even betting in running this evening, which is fantastic for Paul, isn't it? You know, and you can bet on the next frame. Who's going to win? Well, they don't call it. What do they call it, Mark?
Well, they call it in one of the betting partners call it racks, but we call it frames.
Yeah.
So
you can even look for the betting partners there. You'll be back in 3 minutes. We could even find in the next match the winner of this year's Sporty Stuff TV Champions Cup. 10 grand for winning. Oh, wish I could play Paul, Mark. See you in 3 minutes.
Champions Cup Grand Final, Match 5, best of 6 frames. First frame, Liam Dunster to break. Time running.
Well, it really is starting to heat up now. Corey Reese with the controls in his hand. If he can beat Liam here, he is your 2022 Champions Cup winner. But that's a big F, and standing in his way, just the world champion. And Liam knows that he's still in too, but he's got to beat Corey in this match.
It's deserted him that break, Jim.
Extension called.
He's got a little bit lucky. If Corey Reese had a red to go out here, these would be easy. As it is, he doesn't even have a simple yellow.
And the one thing we've seen from Liam in the past too, no matter how the break deserts him, he doesn't change from the game plan. But Corey Reese has brought him right back into this event, and he knows it. How tough is this opener? Oh, it was a lot. It was a lot to ask.
Yeah, Corey will be disappointed, and rightly so. But that was so tough. Liam, very fortunate there not to give Corey more of a sniff.
Extension call.
From that dry break. Having said that, Corey's made Liam's life difficult. Reds were absolute sitters from the break. But the introduction of that yellow on the right-hand side to the party has certainly stunted Liam's options somewhat.
And Liam knows he's got to find some form because he has been desperately out of it.
It's interesting that he's chosen yellows here because I think Liam's looking at a safety shot here because I don't think either of these yellows goes. Very tight. But he could just weld Corey in behind that yellow. Well, no, he could see enough. Where does the black go? Does that go top left? Or does it go bottom right?
Well, it definitely goes to the top right as we look. And if he takes the yellow he's looking at now, then the yellow to the right center is going to be below the black. So his game plan for me would be to play that black into the top right corner. Same pocket, he's shooting this yellow.
Yep, that's the one, Jim. Just the pace on this one that he's got to get right. It was tough, but this has to go down as a missed opportunity for Corey. No other way to see it.
Got to judge the contact to the other yellow.
Yeah, that's nice. It's not too bad an angle either. I think he can top this through and probably a trace of right-hand side. Just come back up that centre line of the table. Now he's going to go around the angles. A little bit more difficult. Underdone that.
Big moment for Liam right here.
Yeah, that red next to the black has to look massive.
It's only the first frame, Dan, but this will do his confidence the world of good if he gets this.
He's overcut it. I didn't think that was possible. What has happened to Liam Dunster? This is not the Liam Dunster people were expecting to see tonight. It's certainly not the Liam Dunster that I expected to see tonight.
Yeah, hasn't controlled that cue ball the way we're used to seeing him. He's missed a few shots. But under pressure, he's been like a rock. And I think both Corey and Gareth see that they've got the world champ at their mercy right now. And a big chance for Corey. Again, remember, this was Liam's break.
Yeah, this is massive in the context of the match and the final. These two have shared 3 draws so far in this competition. Now, when is Corey going to go after that red on the right-hand side? It probably would drop into the centre, but it's certainly easier to take it up to the top right. I think he'd love to take it now because it's a big pocket for the black. But if he has to take it as his last red, he doesn't want to use that black. He'd want to keep the black where it is. Is he going to take it on now? This is a big shot.
He's not missing much, Corey. And it's been a while since Liam Dunster has bothered the scorekeeper here, because that's 5 frames on the spin that he's dropped. And Corey Reese secures the opener 1-0 over Liam Dunster. And Corey will break, but Liam has to be questioning things right now. It's not going according to plan.
It's something that seems to happen quite a lot to world champions, Jim. I don't know what it is. We've spoken about it being a curse before. Gareth Hibbert won a tour title after he won the world championship in the following year. But since then, nobody has won a major title after they've won the world championships.
Corey Reese to break, leading 1-0.
You fully expected Liam Dunster to be the man to break that trend, but at the moment, it's not looking great.
Now Corey finds a good break here. That's going to add to Liam's misery. But
yeah, that's his worst contact of the night for sure. It's still not a bad contact. Look at that. Balls have split open far and wide. Decision time for Liam Dunster.
Extension called.
I mean, the yellows clearly give more control thanks to that yellow in the top right. But does he go for the finish, or does he get on a yellow and take another pocket and try and work the frame, work his way back into it that way? He's going to take the plant on first off. Needs a nice kiss on that other yellow at the top of the table from here. Oh, that's good control.
remember, he was the favorite to be the champion this year, 11-10 favorite. Gareth Hibbert, he was second favorite. Corey, well, you could have got 5-2 if you fancied Welshman Reese, but everything is there for Corey right now. And the man at the table standing in his way.
just again, not the perfection we're used to seeing from Liam Dunster. He's finished right on that cushion. Probably got just enough angle to screw back for the most difficult yellow to the right of the black. He wouldn't have minded a touch more, though.
Under the circumstances, that's a good pot. Liam has looked fallible tonight. And he's fighting it.
Yeah, he is, because again, it's a good pot, but it's not perfect position. You have to really dig into that cue ball to bend it round and hold nicely for this last yellow. Is that missed black in the previous frame going to be playing on his mind?
Well, he has to get this. Okay, it stops the bleeding. Liam Dunster secures a frame. 1-1 against Corey Reese. Back on serve.
Yeah, that was 5 frames on the trot lost for Liam before that. I think, to be honest, Liam, we're talking about Liam as if he's played quite badly tonight. He hasn't. He hasn't played badly at all. Gareth was exceptional against him. And Corey in the first match was pretty exceptional up until the last frame as well. But it's not the Liam Dunster we're used to seeing. It's not been perfection personified tonight from Liam. And that in itself is just a bit of a surprise.
That's just how good he is and how well he has played of late.
Liam Dunster to break. Scores a tie.
Again, before that loss against Gareth Hibbett, he hadn't lost in this event.
And Corey still hasn't. Oh no. You finally find a break that works. Is he touching that yellow? If he's not, he's still blocked on that red. He's got no shot available here at all as Liam Dunster. You can see him there. He's having to use every little bit of his vision to work out what he can do. Can he see enough of that red to pot it? I don't think so. And where's the safety? Normally in this situation after the break, you can maybe, tie the cue ball up to another ball. That's going to be very difficult as well. What can he see here? Can he play the red off the yellow to the top left? Oh, he can.
That's a great effort from Dunster there. Huge. He's left himself on another red. He's got that one red at the top end of the table as we look. That's going to be tricky to get on. But he's still at the table.
Yeah, back against the wall, Liam Dunster is a very different player. And he looks a different player all of a sudden. What a difference a frame makes, Jim.
So the angle on the second to last red, critical. Is he looking to drop below that red to play it to the center? He may not have any choice. But again, how well does he have to control that cue ball to drop it into that little area? Here's the big shot, Dan, right here. Having a look to see if the red may go off the yellow into the top right corner. It's just nothing easy about this.
I mean, he could, yeah, maybe drift past it and play it right centre, but pace of this has got to be perfect. That's good enough.
That's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. He's going to have to use that yellow. Might have to play this in a way not to leave himself hampered queuing at the black, even if he does get it. Well, this is a brave effort from Liam. Can he knock the black to complete it? Building his concentration and focus right now. That's the sort of Liam Dunster we're used to seeing. A monumental clearance, and right when he needed it. 2-1 in front. Too early to say that he's back, but there's a glimpse. And a terrific opening red to get him on course.
Yeah, rock solid there from Liam Dunster, something we haven't been able to say about him very much tonight. But Corey Reese still well in this match. We're still on serve, really. And Corey do from this break. Point here would do his
Corey Reese
task
to break.
to win this tournament
Frame, 2
wonders.
frames to 1. Time running.
Well, by my math, if Corey gets a draw, Liam's out. Because Corey will be on 5 points, and the best Liam can do would be 4.
Yeah, Liam has to win. Oh, there was a yellow tracking towards the top right that was knocked out. That yellow towards the top left isn't going to drop either. Liam Dunster is in the driving seat in this match.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's pool as you least expect it, and it can turn on you like a rabid dog. And it has turned on Corey Reese.
Extension call.
Another dry break from him.
All the yellows are quite nice and open. Those two on the right-hand side are a little bit tough. If the bottom of those two goes past that red, then this is a really good opportunity on yellows. If it doesn't, he still doesn't need to move anything, but he'll need a bit of precision. Oh, it's interesting. He's going reds. He's going to have to take on a skill shot, and he's gone after it straight away. Is he on this? He's got to have that cue ball in a position where he can play the centre of the red right onto the centre of the yellow. Well, I don't think he was on it first off. He is now. How about this? This is a huge shot.
Yeah, if that yellow's as deep in the pocket as it looks. Doesn't even have to be a full contact. Anything towards the left of the yellow, the pocket's going to invite the red in too.
Yeah, just touching that jaw just makes it a little more difficult. You can get a bit of a double kiss. There you go, Jim. Hit that almost three-quarter ball, to be honest, but it still followed in.
That's how deep the yellow was, Dan.
Yeah.
But again, it's bottom the opportunity. One thing to get this man down, it's another to keep him down.
Now, I can only assume he's looking at that red next to the black into the left centre.
No choice, really, Dan.
No. Just got to leave a nice angle on his penultimate red. Just drift over there.
Yeah, he's quickly over to see the angle he's left on it too. And he's got a little angle. He's going to be able to get that cue ball behind that red to the left center.
Yeah, he's got two ways of attacking this. He can either top it through or stun across. Personally, I'd be topping it through, but you might leave a bit more distance. Sort of in between, but actually that's perfection, really. That black will go to the right centre past that yellow.
It didn't go to the right center. And again, that pocket has been the bane of Liam Dunster's existence here this evening.
Well,
that is the third black he has missed to that pocket. And again, that one never threatened the pocket.
I mean, yeah, you can't blame the pocket for that. He hasn't even hit the jaw. What a let-off that is for Corey Reese.
He had done all the work, too, in that one.
Extended.
Said Liam.
And Corey can
Corey
keep this
knows.
match on serve.
Yes, he knows, too. If he can complete this, Liam will come out of his chair to break in the next one. But Corey will have a chance to break in the last. And again, a tie puts Liam out.
Next couple of shots here, really key for Corey. That yellow on the bottom rail, that's going to be a tough pot.
Timeout.
Yeah, just asking our referee to clean the cue ball. Little implement that they slide in.
Time running.
A little bit like marking your ball on the green, or use a coin. Except here, you got to be much more precise.
Yeah, you can't get away with just misplacing it slightly, unlike on a golf course. If you're that way inclined, of course. That's good from Corey. He's dead straight on that top yellow into the centre. He can just stun this in, and he'll be perfect on the other one. Well, we've seen a couple of new innovations in this tournament. We've seen the speed gun for the brake, but I'll tell you what, I'd love to see a heart rate monitor, wouldn't you, Jim?
We've got to let them know in early January, Dan.
Sorry, that's my fault.
Now, Corey, 2 shots away from forcing 6 frames in this one.
Frame.
And I can tell you that the score is deadlocked now, 2 apiece. Corey Reese, Liam Dunster, and it'll be the duster to break in frame number 5. And yet another missed black from Liam. Up off the cue very quickly. We gave him the benefit of the doubt earlier on when he missed the black. Thought maybe a bad contact. There's no bad contact there. Just didn't see the angle. But he's looked better. He did all the work to get to that black.
Liam Dunster to break. Scores are tied, 2 frames all.
So he needs to do everything he can and hope for a chance in the last. Well, everything nicely positioned. Just depends on how Liam sees taking these out.
Extension called.
But he's got to be feeling the heat out there. Because everyone watching knows he's been far from his best.
Yeah, he's hanging in this tournament by a thread. He needs these 2 frames, and he still needs to beat Gareth Hibbert as well. That's no mean feat. And even though he hasn't been at his best, he hasn't looked the Liam Dunster that we know, you still can't write him off. You cannot put it past him. Because he just knows how to win.
Carrying the hopes of Scotland. So many good players up there. A lot of them tuning in and, like us, sitting on the edge of their seats. It's looked to me, though, from the times that I've seen Liam, and I've seen him an awful lot, more than any other player in this event. I've commentated, I think, almost all his matches, and he has been meticulous with his cue ball control and his patterns. It's just been a little bit evident to me that he's not seen the patterns quite as clearly as he normally does. He's had to make great shots, and a few times he's fell at the last hurdle. Whereas in the past, even that last hurdle didn't pose too much trouble. And I think a lot of it born just from the fact that he hasn't really controlled that cue ball nearly as well as what I've seen in the past. And it's forced him to be a little bit more creative. Oh, that was a good red. He had to get it. He knew he was dropping on the black.
Frame.
So he's done everything he can do. 3-2 he leads. And now he's going to sit back and wait for the opportunity that he hopes comes from Corey Reese's break.
And it's an opportunity that he needs to have come his way, because Liam Dunster, despite that finish, is still staring at an exit from the competition here. He may have one game left after this, but it will not matter if Corey Reese wins this frame. So Corey, it's all over to you. Can you knock out the world champion?
Final frame. Corey Reese to break.
And I know, looking at the permutations, we know Corey would be on 5 points with a tie here. The best Liam could do, even if he beats Gareth, would be 4. Gareth would be on 3, so he'd have the chance, if he beats Liam, to tie Corey. But Corey beating Gareth 4-1, does that count for anything, Dan?
It may well do. It depends on the frame difference, I believe. If the frame difference is the same, then I think it will come down to the head-to-head. I'm sure Mark Pickworth is working out all the permutations as we speak. But Corey Reese, he needs to work out this finish.
Well, and don't forget that 4-0 win, Gareth over Liam Dunster, that counts too, because that was 4 frames to the plus for Gareth. But right now, Corey knows he's got to know where he stands, because this is here for the taking.
That is a nerveless opening pot. This is a pool table right now that requires a very high degree of precision.
Funny thing is, when we sit and watch this, Dan, it's always a lot tougher. I can tell you, having played, you're out there, and when you're in the heat of battle, your concentration kind of goes into a higher gear and a higher level. And it almost overrides your nerves because you know you're nervous, but if you're not nervous, you're not ready.
Well, that was the key shot. He's underdone it a little bit. I think he's okay. He's going to have to dig down at the cue ball here. If he was dead straight on this yellow to the left centre, then it should be game over. He's just running away from that last red. So he's going to have to punch this cue ball into that red above the yellow to hold it for perfect position. Very nicely done.
And if Corey is nervous right now, he's masking it.
Well, this should be 3 straight shots. It certainly would be in the practice table. It's a very different thing in that arena out there. But if you back the favourite tonight, you better start crossing your fingers here because Corey Reese just has this simple black to knock Liam Dunster out.
Well, may look simple. But it's there now, and the world champions' hopes of becoming the 2022 Champions Cup champion have come to an end at the hands of Corey Reese. Corey Reese now leads the table, and he is in command. We've got one match to go. Can Gareth Hibbett catch him? Stay tuned. We're anxious.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. I've just got Mark here. He's got the well, you've got every figure down there, haven't you, Mark? Tell the public at home.
Yeah, it's not quite over yet. Corey's probably got one hand on the trophy, but we're going down to this last match now, and Gareth Hibbett has to beat Liam Dunster 4-1 or 4-0 for him to retain the trophy. If not, anything less than that is Corey Reese. Liam Dunster's out of it now, he can't win, but he's still going to have to play this last match against Gareth
So
Hibbett.
if Liam Dunster wins two legs?
No, Gareth Hibbett.
Gareth Hibbett.
Sorry, if Liam Dunster, I'll give you the Corey wins the title.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because he'll win the title on frames.
When you
he'll
said
win
he's
the
got
title
one hand on the trophy, he has got one hand on the trophy.
He has got one hand on the trophy.
But he can't put two hands on the trophy.
He can't, and he's going to have to watch downstairs, waiting, and he'll probably have his head in his hands and everything. Just he's going to feel every shot now. So we're going down to this final
You're
match.
a pool player. Have you ever been in a position like this before?
You do. You sort of watch on, or you're hoping and trying to keep into it. And he's going to have the next 20, possibly 40 minutes watching this next match, and he's just going to have to hope and pray that it goes his way.
So what would you do now? What would you do? You're now Corey Reese. You're downstairs. You're sitting there.
You just watch and relax. You know.
How can you relax more?
Well, as much as you can, and you've just got to say to yourself, look, I've done as much as I can today. I haven't lost, and I've played as much of the best stuff that I can under that pressure.
This is pressure, isn't it?
This is pressure now, and Gareth, he's already done his working out, no doubt. He'll know exactly what he needs to do to retain that trophy.
Sunday night at the pool, championship, grand final night, and it's all going to come down to the last match. We'll see you in 3 minutes.
Champions Cup Grand Final Match 6, best of 6 frames. First frame, Liam Dunster at the break. Time running.
So the world champion at the table breaking against Gareth Hibbett, the holder. Well, Gareth Hibbett, if he wants to retain this title and that beautiful Champions Cup, he's going to have to give us an instant replay of what he did against this man earlier tonight. He beat him 4-0 in our third match. He needs a 4-0 or a 4-1 win to retain the trophy. A tall order, Dan.
Yeah, a very tall order. That trophy has only ever been won by 2 people, and they are contesting this match right now. Will there be a third name on the trophy? Corey Reese, I'm sure, is waiting in the wings. He's probably playing every one of Liam's shots for him in his mind.
Well, Corey did Liam a good turn when he beat Gareth 4-1. That at least gave a little bit of motivation to Liam's match against Corey, but then failing to beat Corey sealed Liam's fate. It's such a unique event. And I mean, you need to get the protractor out to figure out all the permutations, but thank God we've got Mark in the studio with, and he has to take his shoes and socks off every now and then to count.
Oh, there's error number 1 from Liam Dunster. If that red had dropped, you felt like it was frame over. It's not a nice table for Gareth Hibbert to come to. He can only afford to lose 1 frame in this match.
Extension, please.
And what a time to come to the table. I think he's just got to cover the pocket here, hasn't he? I can't see any real aggressive options. Oh, it's a decent safety, that, from Gareth, but he'd love it if that yellow was a bit tighter into the pocket, because Liam can easily dislodge that by playing the red that's directly below it off the cushion, off the yellow, and moving it out of the way again to open up the pocket for the black.
Foul.
Oh, wow, Liam.
1 free shot, 1 visit.
Well, he swung his arm out to the right there as if to suggest the table had rolled, but at that pace, he must have put a bit of side on it, mustn't he? Wasn't exactly.
Well, it was definitely a thin snick, but
time running.
I mean, Liam hasn't seen much in the way of a positive vein tonight at all.
Must be difficult for Liam to go out there and still play knowing that his chance of retaining that trophy is gone. Oh, hello. Oh, shot Gareth Hibbert. That's opened things right up. He's not quite on that yellow he's closest to as well as he'd like, but he does have a shot at it now into the left centre if he wants to take on the difficult shot. If he gets it, it would guarantee him the frame, pretty much.
Yeah, but it's a tough one.
Yeah, it was a tough shot, Jim, but it's equally tough to get back down into that area.
Dan, you took the words out of my mouth. He's got to find a way to get the cue ball back down to attack that yellow to that side pocket sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and he can't really. Well, he's going to play it. Oh, hello. Oh, shot Gareth Hibbert. Oh, I think Corey Reese might just be feeling a little bit worse after that shot.
And you'd have to bet that Gareth knows just exactly what he has to do as well.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Oh, he's on his way to doing it, Jim.
He's taken the first. He needs 4. And he has to stop Liam Dunster dead in his tracks. 1-0, Gareth Hibbett. Looking to become a repeat champion.
He's 3 away. That's a glorious positional shot. Did so well to break out that difficult yellow.
It's going to be awful difficult for Corey Reese to sit down and watch this, knowing your fate is in somebody else's hands.
Yeah, our referee for this match, Brian Moss, they're getting the balls ready. Just a word for both our referees tonight, Ben Taylor-Fuente and Brian Moss. They have been superb all tournament long. Deserve all the plaudits that come their way.
Yeah, the biggest compliment you can ever give a referee is you never knew they were there.
2. Gareth Hibbett to break. Leading 1.
They're kind of the unsung
Time running.
heroes of top flight Q sports.
Foul.
Wow. In the middle of the table, kick to the corner pocket.
1 free shot, 1 visit.
I'll tell you, Gareth has not been very lucky off the break.
Time running.
Yeah.
And yet he's still in with a show.
It's the cue ball
Watch where
a
this
couple of
gets
times,
kicked in.
but that's the worst of the lot. A couple of times he's screwed straight in off, or hasn't been kicked in off unluckily or anything, but he's had a couple of real stinkers, and that is one of them. Credit to Liam here, because he's still approaching this table with his usual caution, his usual style. It would be so easy just to lay down and almost let Gareth have it. That is not what Liam Dunster does. Even when he's out of it, he still wants to win.
Oh, he's got a lot of pride. He's won this event twice before. And he is the reigning world champion. Beat the man that opposes him here in the final.
Yeah, there were a lot of people who thought that Liam was a dead cert for this competition. Corey Reese has done a magnificent job tonight in silencing that crowd. Gareth Hibbett as well, that 4-0 victory is one that will live long in the memory for him, I'm sure. But from Gareth's point of view, that will all be for naught if Liam can finish these up and win one more frame.
Still very measured. Still calculating. And the foul from the break, decisive here, as Liam secures frame number 2.
Frame.
He wants one more for a Welsh celebration. 1-1.
If Corey Reese does lift that trophy tonight, it will be interesting to see if he has any fingernails left. I'm sure he's bitten them all off already.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier, it's a lot tougher when you're sat back watching. When you're out there, the concentration kind of kicks in, and you know, your focus, everything is just finely tuned, and it overrides the nerves. But when you're sitting down watching and your fate is in somebody else's hands, that's a different story altogether.
Break. Scores are tied. 1 frame all. Time running.
Frame number 3.
Oh, it's dry, it's dry.
But far from easy for Gareth Hibbett.
Well,
Yellows are open.
yeah, they're very open.
If this one to the side pocket goes down, he's had a very anxious look at it. If this passes.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's the very last roll of the ball. Those 2 yellows are touching, and I don't think the top one will go. You see him there lining up a plant, red onto yellow. He's got quite a small window for the cue ball. If he does take that on, he'd like to screw it on and off the bottom rail. Can he get through to the... Oh, it did go. It's fine. And that means these yellows are sat quite pretty now.
Well, if Gareth wins this and gets to 3-1, if I'm Corey Reese, I don't know I want to be anywhere near a TV set.
Yeah, we should certainly make sure it's got some sort of screen protector on it, if that's the case. Tricky shot into the centre.
Wow, that's a bad miss. And Gareth would be the first to tell you. But it's not an easy table. That's welcoming Liam.
No, is that the moment? Is that the moment that's cost Gareth Hibbett the title? It could be. Those 2 reds at the bottom of the table say otherwise at the moment. I just wonder if Liam can play them as a plant, and if it doesn't go in, he may get the pocket. Certainly make Gareth's life difficult. Oh, no. It's come out a dream.
Yeah, not much emotion on that face, but...
Oh, believe you me, there's plenty inside.
Almost a look of resignation, really, wasn't it?
Gareth was unlucky with that last break, but at the end of the day, he knows he's missed that yellow in the centre. Only got himself to blame.
what I find mildly surprising too is you think back and all the matches that Liam and Corey played.
Yeah.
There was never a winner.
Nope. No, literally 4 matches, all of them at 3-3. It's astonishing, isn't it? This won't be the first time a Scotsman has broken an Englishman's heart. But it is going to happen.
Well, Corey Reese,
Frame.
you owe Liam Dunster a pint because Liam has just won his second frame, and in so doing has ensured that we will have a new champion crowned this year. Corey Reese from Wales will be your 2022 Champions Cup champion, and a well-deserving one at that. He was the 5-2 outsider, the long shot of these 3, but what a worthy champion he is.
He's been the best player here all night, Corey, and it's well deserved. Congratulations, Corey Reese. A superb performance. And he's gone this entire tournament unbeaten. And the fact that Gareth beat Liam earlier, that means he is the only person to do that. And there couldn't be a more deserving winner, really, just for that reason alone.
Yeah, and if he's in the venue dancing around right now,
Frame 4. Gareth Hibbert to break.
I wouldn't mind
he'll
seeing
be
him
celebrating. He'll be celebrating later.
Oh, yeah.
But still, the formality of finishing this one up, 2-1 to Liam. Gareth with the break. And Gareth now, he knows that his time as the champion has come to an end. Well, but what a worthy champion he was, and what a sound defense of the title.
Extension, please.
Took it right to the last match on the last day before he was going to let go of that trophy.
All 3 of these players should really be congratulated for giving us such an exciting finals night. It's been a truly top-class display from all of them. But on the balance of things, yeah, I think Corey's been the best player, Jim.
Well, and Dan, just to let the people at home know, too, we were talking earlier, and you were saying you think Canada could see a few of these tables come across the Atlantic. Well, I've got a pretty sizable club with a little space in it, and I don't think it's going to be long before you're going to see a few Canadians coming across to play this game. It's going to take a while before they'll play at this level, though.
Well, there's already enough people there to beat me, Jim. Calm down.
I know one thing for certain, though, Dan. If we bring the crew over in January and February to Canada, they'll dress a little differently than they do over there.
Clearly, you've never been to Leeds in January and February.
Well, how does 20 below sound to you guys?
I don't know. That's just how it feels.
They say it's a dry cold. But I'll tell you one thing, it follows you.
Well, nothing dry about Yorkshire. Nothing dry about Gareth Hibbert's breaks tonight either. If he kept the cue ball on the table, he'd probably be picking up that trophy after this match.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Frame.
2 apiece. 2 more to go. And then it'll be celebration time for Corey Reese, the 28-year-old. Well, he's moving up the rankings, and he's building up quite a resume.
Yeah, he's certainly doing that. He was tipped for greatness a long time ago, Corey Reese. But really, this last season and this Champions Cup campaign, he has really started to show why. He's been at a different level to everyone else, and he is the champion of this tournament, and he is well deserved. Just a couple more frames before he gets to lift that trophy. Probably quite nice for him, actually, just to sit back and relax and not have to worry now.
Frame 5. Liam Dunster at the break. Scores are tied. 2 frames all. Time running.
Frame number 5. And 2 apiece. And the same cut break. He's never wavered from this break, no matter how successful or unsuccessful it was. But when it's working, it does give him a nice split.
Extension, please.
Almost a guard of honour now from these two. So they hand over to the new champion. Just get the feeling there's one more moment of magic in this somewhere. Not sure who from.
Oh, beautiful shot. Couldn't really have come out any better. But you've got to tip your hat to Liam as well. He knows his fate is sealed, and yet nothing has changed. Taking the same amount of time over every shot, every moment still measured. Just slightly off angle on this.
Yeah, it's a tricky finish from here for Liam. He's got to cut this red into the top right. Screw on and off the side cushion, but he's got to avoid that yellow as well. Really. A kind flick might be okay.
Yeah, these are the type of shots that he's struggled with out into this pocket.
Time out.
Well, Liam's just seen something on the red ball.
Can we run the clock down to 6 seconds, please?
And cue ball and object ball replaced. Just spotted something on the object ball, but again, he's struggling to see the angle on this shot. That's why he's standing behind it. And just resetting the shot clock.
Yep. They just let it run down to the 7 seconds it was when he asked for the ball to be cleaned. Where's this cue ball? It's on the table, but how'd you get on this black nicely? With great difficulty, I suspect. It surely doesn't double, so he needs to get behind it in some way or another.
Yeah, it hasn't been a night that's going to go into the memory banks for Liam Dunster, that's for sure. And that space in his trophy cabinet, well, it's going to remain empty for at least another event.
Yeah, he'll be back for this one. This one will sting Liam. He's the world #1 for a reason. That World Championship run of his was extraordinary. But this tournament, perhaps just a bridge too far for the Scotsman.
Extension, please.
Yeah, I think Gareth needs to get to 3-2 just to assure himself second place here.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Jim. That's exactly what it would do. Gareth Hibbert finishes these off. He will be the runner-up in this year's Champions Cup.
And again, pretty good defense of the title, wasn't it? You know, you run second with a strong field, played over 3 months. And with such short races and so much counting on a run here and a roll here, you know, to get to second place in the event you won the year before speaks volumes.
Yeah, the evergreen Gareth Hibbert. Don't know about this angle. Does he have the angle to run into the black here? Is he going to try and move it? Nah. Thing is, the red is so safe that this is almost a shot to nothing.
Frame.
He gets it. And Gareth Hibbert, 3-2 in front, guarantees himself a second place finish. And the favorite at the outset, Liam Dunster, well, he'll run third in a 3-horse race. It's been a great event from start to finish. Quality play, quality production. And I know, Dan, that, I know I speak for you. I hope the viewers have had as much fun watching this as we have commentating on it.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
It certainly opened my eyes. So many players that I knew very little about, and just so much talent in the sport.
There is a huge amount of strength and depth in this sport, but in the end, the cream rises to the top, and you can see that with this final lineup. Liam, Gareth, Corey, they are 3 of probably 5 you could have picked from if you were going to pick the absolute favourites. And these 3 have proven that on the biggest stage. They've all been
Attention,
superb.
please.
Now, and a shout out to the world champ too. Liam was far from his best in this grand final, but he's had some kind of season.
Yeah, he'll go away and he'll lick his wounds. We have the first tour event of 2022 season coming up next weekend, I believe. There's certainly no rest for any of us. And I guarantee you he'll come back firing at that one.
Yeah, no time to dwell on the negatives. Tournament's around the corner.
Oh,
Well, that's
Gareth,
worked out okay.
Yeah, he's showing off now. There'll be another one in contention in the tour coming up.
Well, would you believe it? Liam Dunster failed to win a match here this evening, but it's an evening that belongs to Corey Reese. He is your 2022 Champions Cup winner. And as we've said, Dan, what a worthy champion he is.
He's been the most solid player throughout this tournament, Jim. A credit to him and congratulations to him and all the people who support him at home. I hope you all have a great night because he certainly will. He's played some phenomenal pool throughout. And yeah, a well-deserving champion.
And again, the real big winners in all of this, all the fans at home that were treated to some superb pool, fantastic drama, shot making of the highest standard. We enjoyed it. We certainly hope that you all enjoyed it as much as we did. But the night, as I said, belongs to Corey Reese.
Thank you, Jim. And wow, what an incredible grand final we've had there. And unfortunately, we've had some runners up and Liam Dunster not really quite at the races there, third place. But you've had an incredible season. Just tell the audience, you've got to be really proud of what you've done this season.
Yeah, just keep doing what I'm doing, and I'll not be far away from my next title. Yeah.
And you've won a little bit of prize money in this, and you seem a little bit down, obviously, just with the way you played. But you've won over £5,000 to come third in the tournament.
Yeah,
I know it's been a very long-winded tournament for you.
Yeah, long-winded. Yeah, I'm just honestly embarrassed the way I played, but fair play to Gareth and Corey who took full advantage of it. So.
And how have you found this tournament? I know you've not really quite produced your goods in this final, but how have you found how this tournament's been run throughout? And have you enjoyed it? Yeah,
I've definitely enjoyed it. A lot of travelling. I think that's why a lot of players didn't play in Event 3 that were in Event 1 and 2, but that's just what you've got to do.
And a little bit, just a few words about the winner, Corey Reese.
Yeah, fair play to him. I had, 4 attempts to try and beat him, drew all 4, so couldn't beat him. Played well throughout the tournament.
Well, I'm going to let you go over there and listen to the obviously presentation, and well played for for this event. Well, that's Liam Dunster. They're just not seeing the best of him tonight, but Gareth fell a little bit short there towards the end. A little bit disappointed as well.
Yeah, a little bit more. Yeah, I think I'd worked it out, sat down there for 1-4-1. I could win it, but had a horrible enough in 1-0 up, and then I missed a chance at 1-1. Just tricky little one in the middle that I wasn't deciding what to do with. I had 2 or 3 different balls to play on and missed it, and 2-1 down. I knew Corey had won it then, so it's just all about the second place then, really.
But 2 years in the Champions Cup, you've won in 2021 and a runner-up in this one. Surely that's okay?
Yeah. It's just you're disappointed, aren't you? You come to win. I'd like to have taken that home. You only let me have it for 6 months last time, so it would have been nice to have it a bit longer this time. But yeah, Corey played well. When I played Corey, I think I played a safety shot at 1-0 up, and I didn't get another go after that, so you can't do much about that.
It's just one shot, isn't it, Gareth? You know, you're so unlucky again, weren't you, tonight? But
that's it, Gary. I hit some bad breaks, yeah. The break was a big thing for me because I hit some bad ones and got away with a couple that I did bad, but I hit some great ones and somehow the whites got kicked all over the place and gone in. It was just one of those nights with my break, really.
And just a few words about Corey Rees, and he's going to be a new crown champion.
Yeah, it's a massive trophy to win, and he's played well all the way through. I don't think he's lost a game, has he? So you can't argue with that. He just played class. Like I say, when he played me, second time round, 4 finishes on the trot.
He's been a worthy winner, just as Liam was in the 2 years that he won it. And you've also been a worthy runner-up as well. So well played, and thank you very much for being a part of a great grand final.
Cheers, gents. Thanks.
Well, that's the Godfather, just a little bit short today, but he'll be back, no doubt. He keeps knocking on the door. I'm not sure how long he's going to keep knocking on the door. But here he is, our winner, Corey Rees. How does that feel, being the winner of the Champions Cup?
Feels pretty good, to be honest. It's been a long time coming, I guess, but hopefully now it takes a bit of pressure off and more comes, hopefully.
And I said in the betting office, I haven't talked to Gary about it, you've been to a final before, but this is now going to be your biggest win to date. You know, can you now step on and move on to probably get to the top 8, top 5 and even win more titles?
Yeah, it's all about winning. All about winning comps. I mean, it's all good turning up and, semis or quarters here. Yeah, you get up the rankings, but you want to win. If someone offered me last 32s and a win, I'd take that all day, every day.
what was it like, Corey, sitting downstairs after that first frame? How was you feeling watching that?
To be honest, I was actually right. I was actually okay. And then when Liam had the chance to win his second frame, that's when I was like, come on.
I was trying to bring you in a betting shot. You wouldn't come up with...
that was never going to happen.
I just like a bit of pain, that was all, Corey.
And just a few words about, obviously, you sort of opponents that you played against with Gareth and Liam. Do you want to just say a few words about that?
It's just, obviously, it makes it even sweeter then when you win it, because obviously, arguably the two best players on the tour right now. They both got to the world final, so it shows how tough it was, really.
Well, you're going to be crowned the champion very much in a few minutes and time and that, but you're also a winner of £10,000, and that's not really to be sniffed at, so well played.
Thank you.
So that's the conclusion now of the Champions Cup, and we want to thank everybody that's been part of it. Our two referees, Ben, Brian, everybody else that's been involved. The production team has been absolutely superb. Obviously, everybody at Sporty Stuff TV, we've had an incredible tournament. We've all enjoyed it. I want to thank my old buddy, Gary here, all the players in tonight's final, all the players that's even participated here. It's been absolutely superb. But now, I just need to leave it now to have his crown our champion. It's going to be the 2022 Sporty Stuff TV Champions Cup champion. It's Corey Rees.
Rewind selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector.